Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Token back with another episode of VGC Climbing the Ladders. We are still here with that Dallas Regionals team that we built with Edu and Drew last week. So thank you all for tuning in to today's episode of VGC Climbing the Ladder. Hopefully we can get some good battles on this episode and further show off the strong points of this team. I did record this episode 2 times previously, and both times my face cam didn't line up with my audio, so I'm hoping that's not an issue this time. And yeah, we did creep into those 1700s though. Right when I got into 1700s, I of course started to record because that's been the goal. You guys know that's been the goal for me. I wanted to get this team into at least the 1700s. I feel like that's when you get some pretty quality battles. But it's been a struggle. I have not been playing my best game, but I'm back onto my game. I feel pretty good about the way I've been playing. So hopefully we can continue to get a few more wins and showcase this team well. And hopefully my face cam and audio align this time. And sorry guys, I do still have that really runny nose, so I'm just going to do that one time and I won't do it again. Sorry about that. But alright, hopefully we can find an opponent here pretty soon. Sometime pretty soon. Oh, and also, I think I'll always take a one-day break during this. I know it's a daily uploading series, but it is really straining on me, and obviously I don't do this full-time like a lot of other YouTubers do. A lot of other YouTubers do happen to do this as a full-time job, so I'm not one of those YouTubers. So a daily uploading series is really straining, and I do think it's a little bit of quantity over quality sometimes. So I honestly always want to prioritize quality over quantity. So hopefully we can get back to that. Do get a 15-11 opponent named Zarkis. I'm sorry, my phone just decided to go off. But we do get a 15-11 opponent named Zarkris, and they have a team of Metagross, Arcanine, Garchomp, Gyarados, Vikavolt, and Ninetales. So this team is very interesting. It's all over the place, but there's a lot of Pokemon that I don't play too, or I've just had previously bad encounters with. Vikavolt, it's kind of wrecked me before. Ninetales is hard to deal with sometimes. Roarville is really strong, and then Metagross is very strong, especially if it's choice banded. So looking at the matchup though, I really like leading P2. It doesn't really mind the Blizzard. It doesn't really mind anything other than maybe a Snarl from Arcanine. That's about it. That would be kind of annoying. Kind of like P2 and Tapu Koko as a lead. I kind of want to lead Arcanine maybe. But then that just then my opponent would just freeze dry right into it, and then they can also lead Vikavolt, and that'd also be an issue. So I will not do that. And what else do I want to bring in this one though? Kartana looks kind of strong, but it honestly doesn't look that strong, especially with a Vikavolt around. It kind of really hurts its utility. And doesn't have a super effective move on Garchomp either, so I'm actually going to leave Kartana on the bench. Interestingly enough, I'm going to go Arachnid and Mudsdale. Hopefully we can maybe set up Trick Room if necessary and start to really put a lot of pressure on my opponent's team. Especially because Mudsdale, even if the Vikavolt, I don't know Vikavolt's speed stat, I know it's really slow though, but if it turned out to be slower than most of my slow Pokemon, either way Mudsdale doesn't really mind it, so it'd be able to dish out damage on it, so not bad. Oh, God. Okay, had to do it one more time. Alright, so what I'm thinking here is my opponent leads with Alolan, Ninetales, and Arcanine as we lead with Tapu Koko and Porygon 2. I'm thinking I really want to get damage off on Ninetales before it sets up an Auroraville, but I also don't want to just lose Tapu Koko to a Flare Blitz or something like that. But like at the same time, I really do want to get damage off on Ninetales before anything. So I'm actually just going to Discharge and Thunderbolt into Ninetales. I really want to knock out Ninetales. Well, I don't really just want to knock it out. I just really want to get damage off on it before, and damage off on an Arcanine. As Discharge will do both of those before it sets up an Auroraville. So that's kind of my game plan. Arcanine can maybe Snarl. There's a few things Arcanine can do. If it's Flare Blitz, it can literally just Flare Blitz. It actually protects, which is almost the best thing that could have happened, but that kind of solidifies that an Auroraville is probably coming our way, which is pretty unfortunate. But we will get... Oh, we paralyzed our own Porygon too, though. That was the opposite of what I would have liked to have happened. Yeah, and the Auroraville does come off. It's pretty unfortunate we paralyzed our own Pokemon though. But I guess that's the risk you run. We don't get the first turn para though. We are able to get another Thunderbolt off though. And alright, we're not in the worst position though, because now I can just discharge again. We'll take out Ninetales, and then I can switch into Mudsdale. I just felt like I was going to sneeze. So if you saw a weird facial expression on my face, that is the reason why. Really felt like I was just about to sneeze. Ninetales might protect here or switch out, especially into something like Garchomp, which resist or actually is immune to discharge. So that's something to keep in mind, but I don't want to make that prediction. Either way, we get solid damage off on Arcanine and maybe even paralyze it. So that's fine if my opponent does choose to switch into Garchomp. And yeah, we'll just go into Mudsdale here. Now that Porygon 2 is paralyzed, don't really like keeping it on the field in this position right now. And I think Mudsdale puts a little bit more offensive pressure on things like Arcanine. So we'll see if my opponent switches into Garchomp to actually switch into Vikavolt, which is actually a lot better than if they switched into Garchomp, because we'll still be able to get the damage off. We can still get a paralysis, and Mudsdale really doesn't mind Vikavolt. So alright, we get another discharge off. Looks like nothing got paralyzed. We'll see what my opponent decided to go for. They do just go for a Flare Blitz, which is likely on our Koko. Alright, and we lose Koko. That's fine though. Alright, so obviously going into Araquanid seems like a very bad thing to do, so I think I'll just set up Trick Room here and go for a Rock Slide with Mudsdale. That'll be super effective on both of these. And yeah, other than Will-O-Wisp, which actually is a pretty big problem, but other than Will-O-Wisp, don't really see what Arcanine can do to us in this scenario. Since it did show Flare Blitz, I do think it's just more of an offensive Arcanine and likely isn't carrying Will-O-Wisp, so hopefully that is the scenario. I would love for it to not have Will-O-Wisp, so that we can deal with it a lot better. Mudsdale getting burned would actually be pretty bad with our ability to knock out Vikavolt, as I'm just not sure how slow it is. Alright, we just get another Flare Blitz, likely into Porygon. Yeah, I'm not sure we can live that and Vikavolt's attack, which is an issue, which is a definite issue. And then we can obviously also get paralyzed. So we'll see if we can live both of these. And we can't. Alright, we will go for a Rock Slide though. Hopefully we can hit it on both targets. We do hit it on both targets. Vikavolt takes that really well though. Honestly, Bolts took it pretty well. Oh, it's because Auroraville is still set up. I'm telling you, Auroraville is way too good. So we'll see if we can bounce back from this. How many turns of Auroraville? Well, no, Auroraville's gone, and probably was gone for a little while, so I'm just going to protect Araquanid and go for another Rock Slide. Not in the best position. Rock Slide, if it doesn't take out Vikavolt here, we're actually going to be in a really tight spot with our Araquanid. Well, if the electric terrain, I just saw it has 2 more turns, so yeah, we're actually going to be in a really tight spot with our Araquanid if we can't get Rock Slide to take out Vikavolt here, which it likely will not do, so we'll see what happens. I don't know. Oh, I forgot. You have to check Auroraville on your opponent's end. Yeah, they actually still have 2 more turns of Auroraville. It's just way too good. My opponent makes a very solid play in actually protecting their own Vikavolt. So that was actually really smart on their end. Probably a Flare Blitz into the Araquanid slot, but we did protect. Nope, into the Mudsdale, which is smart on my opponent's end again. That's just going to do so much damage. We do get the Rock Slide off, but we likely lost this one now. Likely lost this one. And going into it, I didn't feel the best because of all the Pokemon that I just do not enjoy playing against, especially Ninetales. So what it looks like we would need here is to have a solid matchup against whatever the 4th member of my opponent's team is, and we'd also need to get a double protect off with our Arachnid likely. Especially because we weren't able to set up a Trick Room. Alright, and my opponent has a Gyarados, which is the worst thing they could have had. So I'm actually just going to forfeit. They definitely won this one. They brought the perfect 4, and I just didn't play around it well, so I'm going to forfeit. Didn't play around it well. So GG's to Zarkris. It sucks because they're way lower on the ladder, but just sucks since that's going to take a good chunk out of our rating. That's fine though. We'll try to bounce back in this second battle. Hopefully we can do that. But yeah, teams that have teams that have Blizzard to their disposal that really threaten Salamence, but then also have Vikavolt are just so hard for us to deal with, because I almost always want to bring Salamence so that we can deal with Vikavolt well, because even Mudsdale, like, it's slower. Unless I get Trick Room up, it still doesn't deal with it that well, and Rock Slide only does so much. So those teams are just really hard to deal with, because then we can't really bring Salamence, which has the Flamethrower, which is going to do easily the most damage to Vikavolt. So it puts us in a pretty tight spot. So those teams are pretty hard for this team to deal with. Anyways, though, we do get a new opponent. I missed their rating, but their name is Aurora, and they are going to have a team with Tapu Koko, Kartana, Alolan Muck, Tapu Lele, what is that thing? The monkey, Psychic Monkey. I haven't seen it. Oranguru, haven't seen it in a good while, and then Ninetales. So, alright. What do we want to do here? Lots of scary things. Lots and lots of scary things. Do I want to lead Coco? Yeah. Alright, I'll lead. No, I meant to go Coco. Alright, I'll lead Coco Arachnid. And it's a hard one. I'm actually going to go and Kartana. We just get it in within time, but I really didn't like P2 in this one because of Muck is just so good against P2, and if my opponent uses that well, can really just neutralize what P2 is able to do. So hopefully I brought the right forward. Don't feel the absolute best about going into this one, but we'll see. Kartana, Ninetales. Alright. Do I? No, because there's a chance that my opponent just Aurora Veils. I don't just want to lose Coco though. That'd actually be really bad. I'm still going to go for it. I'm just going to protect and discharge. I can't really think of what sounds better. I'm not sure if my opponent will go for Blizzard, so I don't want to wide guard. I'm not sure they'll freeze dry rack on it, so I don't just want to not protect. And then, I'm not sure what they'll do, so I just want to definitely go for discharge to get damage off on both these two Pokemon. We do get a paralysis on Ninetales, which is extremely nice. And yeah, that'll definitely be really solid. Oh, and we get the first turn pair. Alright, I didn't really want that though. That's actually pretty bad for my opponent. They did Leaf Blade into our Arachnid slot. So I probably went for maybe a Blizzard and Leaf Blade. I feel really bad about that though. That is not something I didn't want them to get first turn parrot though. Sorry about that, hacks to my opponent. Fortunately though, that's part of the game, so we just deal with it. So I do know, because of the last time that I did make that area in a previous episode, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 episodes back, where I tried to protect after a wide guard, which you can't do, but you can wide guard after a protect. So we will wide guard so that Arachnid's not hit by the discharge, and then we will just go for another discharge. My opponent doesn't even have a ground type to switch into. They do just go into Lele, which should still be taken out likely by this. Not Lele. Ninetales should still be taken out maybe, even with the change in terrain. We'll see though. We will have to see. And it's not. It actually bulks that out. Oh, and it gets to set up that Auroraville, so that's actually really nice from my opponent. That is nice, and that was a good play on their part. So I'm actually just going to Dazzling Gleam this time, and I will just go for a Liquidation into the Lele slot. That paralysis is just still such a huge deal. Really hurt the Ninetales' effectiveness. But we'll see. Psychic probably going off on Coco, and it does go off on Coco, and we'll likely take out Coco. That is fine though. We will likely take out this Lele with Liquidation. And we do, even through the Auroraville, so nice there. So now my opponent has 2 compared to our 3 Pokemon left, and Arcanine still had a solid amount of health. And we also have our own Kartana, so we'll see what exactly our opponent decides to go into. Mudsdale looked like a bad switch in due to alright, and it's just an Oranguru. It's just an Oranguru. Do I just lunge protect? Doesn't really accomplish anything. I'm actually just going to lunge and switch out our Kartana into Mudsdale. This allows us to not break our Focus Sash, and it still forces my opponent to prioritize the Kartana though. So yeah, Sacred Sword comes out, definitely targeted on our Kartana. We'll take that pretty badly, but still take it with Mudsdale. And then I'll get this lunge off after the Psychic into our Arcanine likely. Yeah, we'll take that definitely though. Dang, takes us a little bit further than I expected, but we do have our Citrus, so we'll get back up to a decent amount of health, and we'll take out this Kartana with lunge. So alright, now in the worst position, obviously it's 3v1 now, and I will just be... our opponent will likely forfeit, so either way though, I'll just lunge and high horsepower the Oranguru. Is it still just fighting on though? I like the resiliency. Do go for that lunge. And we will go for a high horsepower. We do hit the high horsepower, so not bad at all. That's some solid damage. They will eat their Citrus. Forgot how bulky this Pokemon was. Health finally stops though. That chip damage is getting pretty annoying. We'll go for another Liquidation and a just a Heavy Slam. Don't want to miss. Don't want to risk the biscuit. Psychic comes off on Mudsdale. We'll definitely take that. But this Oranguru, more resilient than I expected, doing a little bit more damage than I expected. Good to see some calcs. I do think Liquidation might still do a little bit more to Oranguru, so we'll probably know that for the future though. But we do take out Oranguru, so that'll be a 3-0 in our favor. And we really aren't that far into this episode, so I think we'll actually get a 3rd game because we're really not that far into the episode, so might as well try. So yeah, we'll continue battling. This would have been really short if I don't get a 3rd game, so I hope you guys don't mind it being just a little bit longer rather than really short. So we'll just get one more game and then we'll call it an episode. Hopefully this is a pretty quick one. We do get a 1789 opponent though from England and the United Kingdom, who's going by the Saxlad, and they're going to have a team of Arcanine, Snorlax, Alolan Ninetales, Alolan Raichu, Tapu Koko, and Tapu Fini. So a very scary team, very scary team. It makes me want to I definitely want to lead Mudsdale either way, even if they lead Ninetales, because of the fact they also have an Arcanine, and then they also have that dubious double electric archetype in Tapu Koko and Alolan Raichu, and that's usually led against me when I do see it. Definitely want to bring Kartana. Can do so much. It can Oko Alolan Raichu. It can knock Alolan Ninetales all the way to its sash. It can Oko Finny, and it can. It's our only thing to get really solid damage off on Snorlax. And last but not least, Araquanid's pretty scared off by double electric, even though I'd love to bring it. I might still bring it, but it's really scared off by double electric. May still bring it though. It also can't really do anything to Finny though. Our Araquanid definitely cannot, because we're not running Poison Jab. So, Salamence is obviously just not good in this matchup, especially if there's a Hell setter, a Pokemon with Hell and Blizzard. You're just likely better off not bringing Salamence. Having trouble deciding though, Araquanid or Porygon 2. Araquanid or Porygon 2. Think I'll go Porygon 2 just because of the Finny. Just because I don't want to be in a scenario where Finny's the last Pokemon and we just lose the 1v1. And I know that Porygon 2 can 1v1 it, so I'd rather have a Pokemon that I feel like has a better all-around matchup than a Pokemon that has some really good matchups but has some really poor matchups also. So we'll go with Porygon 2. Hopefully I don't end up regretting that, because Araquanid also could have got more damage off on... definitely could have got us a little bit more damage off on... Alright, this is an interesting lead, but a little bit more damage off on Snorlax. But yeah, this is a really interesting lead by my opponent. They can still fake us out, and it's honestly going to be interesting as to what they decide to fake out, as they can... honestly, it's probably going to be Mudsdale. Is it Mudsdale? Is it Mudsdale? Is it Mudsdale? Actually, just Heavy Slam. Yeah, I'm predicting Mudsdale being faked out, and Mudsdale can't protect, so I'm just also going to... Yeah, and it was the one that was faked out, and it can't protect, so that's fine. Glad I didn't protect Koko, though, so we'll still be able to go for a discharge here, and definitely bring that Ninetales below half, which is really nice. Take a little bit of Life Orb damage, and yeah, the Blizzard does come though. The Blizzard comes. We take that really well on Mudsdale though, so we'll see what my opponent decides to do to maybe take out Mudsdale now. Koko takes a little bit more damage. Alright, so Mudsdale might be double targeted by a maybe like Psychium Z and another Blizzard. Either way though, I'm just going to attack with balls. So I go for double targeting moves with both of my Pokemon. If Koko's taken out by either Pokemon, then that means Mudsdale will definitely live the hit. Maybe not if it's like well, no, we're faster than Ninetales. We'll take out Ninetales. So if Raichu takes out our Koko, that means that Mudsdale will definitely live any hit from... Yep, as my opponent does go for the knockout on our... Oh no, now it's single targeting. That's likely going to take us out. Oh, I wasn't thinking of that. Oh god, I was not thinking of that. Alright, that was bad on my part. Pretty bad on my part. I was not thinking of the fact that once Blizzard isn't targeting two Pokemon, then it becomes much more powerful. Alright, so we're in a real tight spot, and I really could use a special attack raise there, because likely what Ninetales can do now, I'm hoping Ninetales Blizzards, I'm praying Ninetales Blizzards, because if it sets up Auroraville, that's going to be GG, but I still think my best play is to protect and to go for a Thunderbolt on Ninetales to hopefully take it out, so that Kartana isn't so heavily threatened by a Pokemon like Ninetales. So we'll see what exactly we can do here. Kind of really played badly around that Alolan Raichu though. Wasn't even thinking about giving it its double in speed with electric terrain because of its ability Subway Surfer. I really wasn't even considering that, so pretty bad on my part though. We will protect and go for a Thunderbolt. The Auroraville is happening. Is that's hidden power? Yep, and the Auroraville comes off, so that's likely game. That is likely game, especially if this doesn't take out Ninetales. That is game, and it doesn't. Yeah, that is game. And my opponent has hidden power fire on their Raichu. That is game, and that is just GG's to a very nice team. That I see why you're at 1789. I see why. I'll go for the double protect, just in hopes that. Actually, I'm just going to cut this episode short. Not going to, well, not cut it short, but just not going to waste your guys' time. I already know the outcome. I'll just forfeit this match, especially because they're running hidden power fire on that Raichu. It's definitely game. So GG's to them. That was a really interesting team that they got there. A really cool team. But alright, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode of Climbing the Ladder. If you did enjoy yourself, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Got more VGC action coming your way every single day. Other than one day, like I said, I'll take a one-day break throughout the week. So, appreciate the support. Like I said, have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you in the next episode. I'm going to get the heck out of here. Peace out. Have a good one.